Hello and welcome to episode 160 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I lost where I was. I'm Darby Hallman.
It.
Yeah, botched. I'm Darby Hallman.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
I'm the botcher. You know what I'll do. I come around here and I botch everything. How you doing this weekend, Jeffrey?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Not too bad. Weekend goes by too fast. Not excited to have adult responsibilities, but I had a properly anime weekend with the Genshin Impact, which was quite a surprise. You know, that was pretty nice.
I dabble in that too. I had a very anime week with Persona, which we'll get to.
Yeah, Jeff put away some Persona this week.
We'll get into exactly how much and there's a reason for it.
yeah, but I'm very excited because it's one of my favorite games of all time, and it seems that Jeff is enjoying it about as much as I did, which I'm very excited about.
We even have a new friend up there.
We do have a new friend.
Might be hard
there.
to see.
Yeah, let me see how well they can see it. I've completely lost them.
Kind of blends in a little bit. There's a Joker.
Okay, there he is. He's right
there. We got a Joker amiibo.
Yeah, I got a Joker amiibo.
I'm gonna train him to be the best.
Yeah, it's good. I don't think anything is as terrifying as the Pichu AI learning amiibo thing. Cause he's just so small and he just comes running in there like crazy.
A lot of hops.
Well, anyway, Jeff, we have a little bit of gaming news, but the bulk of this podcast is actually going to be us. Any listeners who've been listening the last few episodes, you might remember a few episodes back, we did our Character Hall of Fame, like video game Character Hall of Fame list, and so we just each brought characters that we think are like some of our favorite characters of all time and stand the test of time and everything, and we also made a hypothetical Smash Bros moveset for them if they were all in a Smash Bros type game. And then a few weeks after that we both did DLC characters, and now we're gonna bring two more right now, but we're also at the end of this podcast going to find out who the rivals. All of our characters in here are gonna have a rival on, like my characters versus Jeff's characters. We were definitely getting this from PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, which is a good game, and that was a good concept. That was a really fun concept. So
imagine soccer trying to come up with rivals for this current.
It could be really fun, just ridiculous. So we're gonna make some just very unlikely, ridiculous gaming rivalries.
Yeah, and we'll say it now. After today, from here on out, whenever we add a set of characters, they are instantly rivals.
Yes,
and we got to come up with some dumb reason for why they are rivals.
That is correct. I'm sure there's going to be some just utterly absurd ones, and that's kind of the fun of it. But also, before we get into the characters that we are bringing today, last bit of housekeeping, I want to let you know once again that we are doing a all-day Halloween live stream on October 31st. This is a Saturday. No work. It's worked out perfectly. We're gonna do it. We're gonna have a lot of special guests on. The guys from Respawn Aim Fire, Jericho from JK Games, Dallas from his Twitter, Matt from Average Nobodies. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Brent, who was on the podcast last week, he's gonna be there too.
Freaking guest Jacob Hamill.
His freaking guest Jacob Hamill.
That weirdo who sometimes appears on our stuff randomly.
Alex Boone. Yeah, very infrequently. I mean, I guess he was on our D&D podcast that has died right now, but maybe he'll come back. That being said, all right, yeah, twitch.tv/nerdslargegaming. Look forward to that. But for right now, Jeff, let's introduce the new characters into the Nerds at Large Video Game Character Hall of Fame. I will go first this week. I think you went first. I don't even remember who went first last week.
You went first last time because you worried about overlap.
That's right. Well, and I was also worried about overlapping this week, but it sounds like I don't have anything to worry about from your end. So I will trust that.
Shocked.
I will put my faith in you that I don't have anything to worry about. So Jeff, what is your entry?
Well, Darby, I look over this list, and let me look over before I say this so I don't make an idiot of myself. And We
That
seem
would be
to
hilarious.
lack some Capcom. Yeah, we lack some Capcom. We don't have Capcom on this list.
Oh, we are sorely
Looking over
missing.
again to make sure I'm not an idiot, and we're like, oh wait, that character. So I think,
Oh, it looks like we put Leon Kennedy on here.
Under Darby's weird. He hated that game.
Whoa.
But yeah, so time for a Capcom boy. Who will it be? Well, I'm picking.
I have a feeling.
I am picking Mega Man.
I was wrong.
I don't know who you were.
Phoenix, right?
Well, not just any of the Mega Men, because there are multiple iterations.
Ooh.
I'm doing Mega Man.exe
Okay.
from the Battle Network series. Do you know which one that is?
Maybe.
Look that one up.
Maybe. I know the name at least. Let's see if this rings
Yeah,
a bell.
so a lot of people, when they have, there are a bunch of different iterations of Mega Man that are very different from each other. People always have one as a child. It's usually the normal original Mega Man, or Mega Man X is generally the ones people go for. For me, the one that's been the most frequent in my childhood is Mega Man.exe.
So for a complete plebeian, what was .exe and what was different about it?
So it is a series of mainly Game Boy / DS games. That pretty much all it's been on. It's like a weird strategy card. I mean, not really card. You have a grid. It's a grid-based battle system where you got to pick chips to use on Mega Man to attack people. You have timers and all that kind of stuff. It's a weird battle system, and I love it. And I wish someone else would do it.
Okay, so it's like a complete spin-off type deal. Okay. I don't even know if I've heard you talk about this game.
Oh yeah, I played all these games.
Okay, I knew you played all the Mega Man. I'd never heard about this card game Mega Man thing.
Well, it's not really a card game. It's just because you use chips for abilities, which might be a big part of the moveset, to use to battle. It's a very fun moveset. I don't know how well it may hold up for me now, because kids get mad a lot of fun with them. A big part of this Mega Man, like a lot of other Mega Man, is taking powers from enemies and allies and stuff. And a lot of the especially in some later games, like you form bonds with people, or take enemies with powers, and Mega Man will transform and use those abilities. But also something that Mega Man doesn't, it's different this way with the chips. You get chips that are based on different characters, like Proto Man is a constant one. I'll just use him as an example throughout this thing. You use his chip in a data version of Mega Man, or a Proto Man appears and does an attack. You can do that with a lot of enemies and friends and stuff.
Okay.
So for this move set, I'm going to use various chips and abilities to fight. And you're like, that could just be a lot like Mega Man and Smash. I'm not copying that Mega Man moveset. I'm copying Hero's moveset.
Okay.
So
does this man have a menu?
Yes, he has a menu. So they're going to be predetermined chips and all that kind of shit, just like with Hero, where there's a certain amount of spells. But also like Hero, once that, but there's going to be a time meter. You got to wait for that meter to go up. Okay, it's not going to be it's going to be a pretty fast meter overall. Yeah. Then you press. I'm just going with down special on this and select the random chips come up and you do it. Okay. You select them and that becomes his abilities. Okay. For the next little bit.
Oh, so they just kind of appear, or they're tied to his special.
And these chips are a variety of things. They can be special guns that have different abilities that shoot just straight fire. It could be like a rapid fire thing. Yeah. They have ones that shoot and just kind of shoot diagonally and all that kind of stuff. They'd be bombs. They'd be swords. A bunch of weird shit. Nice. You can do a bunch of crazy shit with that. And also in these chips, you're going to have, like I mentioned, the character chips. So you could summon Proto Man for a second and do an attack. And those will traditionally be more powerful. Nice. And I'm going to add a second meter there. When it's full up, when you use that character chip, you actually transform to the fusion form between Mega Man and that character.
Okay, so you're putting a lot of work on our devs.
Yes. It's not going to be crazy like the whole moveset changes. A couple of the specials are reminiscent of those characters. And
it sounds like it would be a cool way to just include a like shit ton of Mega Man references.
Mega Man love. And for Final Smash, we're just going to have a fun little cinematic where Mega Man and his main comrades like Roll and Gutsman and stuff and Proto Man come up and do some attacks. And just for funsies, we're gonna have Bass come up and just like he's out to hit Mega Man, but he actually just hits the opponent because Bass and like in a lot of Mega Man is a constant factor. And I don't know if it's every game, but he's like a secret boss or something in like every Mega Man game.
Okay,
usually hard as shit.
Nice. Well, yeah, that was a unexpected one, but that sounds like a cool just like Mega Man love letter get reference to like all of the games.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Okay, I went for Astro last time, which is a lot more low-key one or whatever, not a more surprising one. But, you know, Mega Man in general is popular, but I didn't go with the quote-unquote boring ones.
Yeah, it sounds like a more... I definitely recognize the model, like that model of him. I just wasn't aware of this game with this like strategy-esque game.
It's also in one of the games, the one I played so much as a kid. Those games also did a Pokemon type thing where there are two versions where the people that you Mega Man's friends through the game are completely different. And in some cases, like in Mega Man, in the fifth one, you actually play as it, so you get a completely different set of playable characters. And it's like a Fire Emblem strategy thing, and then you go into these battles. I love that game so much.
Interesting.
Okay, well, I spent way too much time on this, Darby. Let's see who you got.
Well, mine is a tad bit more obvious. I'm going with Madeline from Celeste. That's why, again, it was like, yeah, there's a very big chance that Jeff takes this one and be like, well, shit. I would,
Madeline's definitely on my list of potential characters.
Yeah, I figured. One of us has to jump on it eventually. So it would be a travesty if we never did. We have to. Because, I mean, obviously, Celeste is just one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. And the fact that a big part of why that 2D platformer made me cry, which is not something you normally say. You're not normally emotionally moved by a 2D platformer story, but really was in this one. And a very big part of that was Madeline just being such a sympathetic and relatable and awesome protagonist. That's just like, I don't know, there was some form of like the depression and everything she was dealing with that like everyone could see in some way, there. And I thought it was handled so well. And just by the end, it was just another one of those where it's like, I so desperately want you to be happy. Just want this so bad. Go. Yeah, she's an awesome character, and it's an awesome game. Dude. As far as me and that's another for me and Jeff both. That's a character that represents both of us. It like deserves to be in there. As far as moveset, I don't have a ton. I definitely, just skipping to the most obvious thing, I think the final smash should definitely be battle line. Like comes in, you can like fly around this battle line. Yeah. She goes like crazy fast and like shooting stuff everywhere. Maybe then does she shoot the thorn stuff? I kind of forgot what I know she like does a lot of different things, but I know she flies around really fast and you can go like chase people down and everything for the final smash. I think that's like obvious. That I had for like the down special, that like block with a face, those like big old blocks could like spawn underneath her and go down. And then obviously like side special, I want her to have the 2 dashes, like dash and then dash or whatever, and she could like grab onto platforms and stuff with that and hold.
So would it be like kind of Fox's side special where maybe that's just for it damages them, may not launch them necessarily, but
yeah, I think that could work. Yeah, and I mean maybe you could do it there and then back again, or do it twice. You can like choose which direction you want to go with the second dash. And that could be a recovery thing too, because her hair will obviously change color, so you'll know like she's only has one more. Other than that, I don't have a ton for like up smash or anything like that. I think it would be overall decently simple, but Yeah. Has Madeline appeared in a fighting game at all? I thought she was in Towerfall, but has she? Oh, yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah. So that's about all I have for the moveset. I don't know. I couldn't think of too many different things.
Yeah. And I got that for Mega Man for like basic attacks, just kind of using. He has like a little Mega Buster type thing, normal, and just can use his default sword attack, his like smash attack and stuff. Keep it simple. Keep all the crazy shit in the specials.
Oh yeah, yeah. That sounds awesome. Sounds really cool. Well, Jeff, we got some games that we played. Some new, some old, but we got a good bit to talk about.
Whoop, whoop.
And it's one of the first times in a while me and you both played a new game. The same new game. Various levels of it, but that is Anime Breath of the Wild.
Waifus of the Wild. Breath of the Waifu.
Weeb of the Breath of the Weeb. It's Genshin Impact, which is a free game on everything but Switch, basically, right?
No, it's not on Xbox either.
Okay.
So PC, PS4, mobile.
Okay. I led you astray. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's on those completely free. There are microtransactions and stuff.
I was spending a good bit of the time in there trying to figure all that shit out.
I haven't even really looked at it. I've played for several hours and it hasn't come up at all yet. That doesn't mean that
if you want, I don't know if you've done this. You can look. You got free wishes or whatever, so you could get a character.
Yeah, I got one with that.
Okay. Then,
I don't know if
you
I
got
have
the maid
more wishes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think she's the only one you could get right off the bat, right?
She's the guarantee one because they give you enough to do that thing. And then there's the other one you could have done and get another random one.
Oh yeah, but
I spent a couple minutes in there trying to look at the currency and figure out what's technically what I do to potentially get these characters without having to spend money.
And I mean, I have a feeling at some point the progression, because I've already seen, I know we haven't even talked about the actual game yet, but let's just get this part. Let's just get this stuff out of the way. I have seen, when I'm getting to certain places now, there's quests that say oh, you can't do this until such and such rank and everything. I could totally see at some point I could definitely see there being something that's you could either spend a bunch of time in game or you could give money to kind of speed this process up, because it's completely free. They have to make their money somewhere,
I actually haven't seen. Do you spend money on stuff to upgrade characters or your adventure rate?
I mean, you spend your currency in the game to level up characters.
Yeah.
So.
But based on my understanding, I don't know if this is something completely different. Is the adventure rank that locking you out?
Yes.
That's different from the character levels.
Okay. Well, then maybe it won't be that thing. I'm basically saying there has to be something. Yeah. Hopefully, it's just purely cosmetic and it's something that I won't feel bad.
I will say though something. I'm guessing the thing as far as getting characters up, you get these little book things. I guess you've noticed you get. I like that so far. I'm getting a good amount of them, and at least with the characters when I've gotten Amber and the maid, it's been nice. I can easily get her up with my main character just real quick. I like that.
Yeah, I'm sure that will slow down at some point soon. I mean, it's already starting to slow down more for me. I'm already getting less levels by that. What used to give me, it's this will give you 4 levels. Now it gives me 1. Yeah, it's
I would have saw diminishing returns because I gave 2 to the maid, and first one was 4 level or 3 or 4 levels. Then it was 2, but it got her up where it is. Yeah. But,
I mean, that's good for when you get new characters, especially. And so, I mean, I think it'll be the thing. They'll probably keep adding characters and stuff to the game and everything.
Well, so if you wanted me to look real quick while you're just kind of talking, since you played more, I can. They did talk about some of their posts. Stuff. If I could try to find it,
try to find it. Let's actually talk about our experience with the game.
That's what I was saying when I was kind of looking at it.
Yeah, we've approached this conversation in an interesting order, but basically, want to say I have not seen any of that yet. I am not against if I'm really enjoying this game and that you drop new characters or whatever, and you basically need to buy them, with real money. I'm not against that. Again, it's really weird to have this model in a single player game.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's a weird new territory. I still kind of wish I could have just dropped money on the game and that be it. But this sounds like we're I'm just preemptively like, I don't know. I'm just like waiting for the other shoe to drop. But so far, I am really liking this game.
Yeah.
I am really, really enjoying this game.
I imagine you've been able to do more since you had more time than me, but I imagine after you got the glider and you got the stuff for the characters and all that kind of stuff, you walk into the city, it's like, okay, let's explore this city real quick. I found a bunch of treasure chests just lying around.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already getting I've been telling Jeff the last 2 days as I've been playing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm instantly recognizing, it's like, yeah, this is my type of game where they just drop you in there and it's like, hey, there's a you have a quest marker there, and you start going to this quest marker, it's like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Next thing you know, you spend an hour just wandering around. I've already like wandered way out of where I'm supposed to be, and there's like way too high of monsters, and I just love doing that shit.
Yeah, I might streamline it just slightly at the moment because I just looked at the quest that I got. I assume you did the quest based on what many characters you said you had.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be past where I'm at quest wise in like one more session.
Oh no, I was part of saying I'm gonna do that because I know I can get two new characters from those quests, free characters. So like, might as well get those so they level up while I do this, finding this other shit.
Yeah, I have 5 characters right now. I mean, just the ones they get. The maid was the only one I got from a box. The rest of them were characters they
what sucked is, I don't know how exactly all this works, is I was able to get a character from the gacha, but it was fucking Amber.
Oh.
So you could get dupes.
Wait, you were buying stuff before you got Amber?
No. I got Amber again afterwards. You get stuff to power up the character when you get dupes. I was like, Lane, give me another character first.
And see, I just don't really like the concept of my single player RPG having loot box drops. Period. It's weird. That part is weird, and it's still going to continue to be weird, especially if it gets more in your face. But as of right now, I mean, yeah, we need. I want to steer back on the game because I think so far, I mean, I have not so far the actual mechanics and everything, and now that I have a full party, like flipping between the different characters in combat is very satisfying. Like this game borrows a lot from Breath of the Wild, like a lot from Breath of the Wild, but I do think the combat gives it something very unique to it because you can literally flip between your 4 characters like mid combo. You can go hit, flip to another one, knock someone up in the air, flip to someone else, do something. Like, you have complete control when it comes to like all your characters' movesets. And I'm already getting in combat situations where it's like, I need to do that. You need to cycle through them because like you can, light someone, you can like freeze someone and then electrocute them and they'll do more damage, or you can you can do all those different type of like elemental combinations that remind me of Breath of the Wild and how you would play around with the world and everything, but this is a lot more combat focused than Breath of the Wild.
I haven't got to the combat stuff and all that. I did the basic stuff when you first meet Amber, did her thing, then I went to the town and just goofed around pretty much the rest of the
Understandable, yeah.
I only had maybe 2 hours if that to play.
Yeah, that's all I did at that point too. Really, I was just exploring around, which I think is very satisfying. Yeah, the world is kind of begging to be explored. And I've already had the moments where it's like, oh, what's down this cave? And then it's like this gigantic monster comes out that's like level 45. I'm like, fuck, run away. I don't know. It's like, this is my shit so far. I think the story is pretty whatever. I mean, it's not bad,
Basic anime
seems
nonsense.
like very basic fantasy story. You can kind of see the budget at times. I think just like the towns themselves are kind of empty. And the world being kind of empty is not as bad because kind of like Breath of the Wild, it's spacious thing like that. But when you're in that town, I definitely get the feeling I'm like, I instantly think about other big RPGs, Witcher, all these other ones or whatever, where it's like you go into a town and it's a big, even Dragon Quest, you go into a town and it's a big deal. And like, when you go into a town in this one, like it looks impressive, but you get in there and it's just like 4 people in this like gigantic square. It's like, okay, yeah, you start to see that the voice acting is like good enough. It's not great, but it's also like it's not nearly as bad as like Tails, and I love Tails, but like Tails has some shit voice acting when it comes to like the NPCs in the town. It's never gotten anywhere near that bad. It's always been believable enough so far for me.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, I guess for the Tails comparison, main characters for Tails usually really good. Everyone else very hit or miss. If you're not a main character who has a special portrait and all that kind of stuff, you're probably no one special.
Yeah,
you probably gotta have a shit voice acting.
I would say just the writing in general has been more kind of. It's hit more often to me than I thought. Not that it's making me like completely bust a gut, but like there have been some actual like pretty good jokes and stuff in there that like honestly I don't really see very often from a lot of Japanese games. Just like foreign games in general that have to be localized. A lot of times, like a lot of Japanese games and stuff we play are not like. There's definitely some times where it's like, okay, this writing is very wooden and stiff and very obviously kind of translated, but not really like molded to fit English very well. I'm not getting that vibe at all here. There's like, they do a lot of like interesting jokes that actually land to me. Like the kid that's like on the bridge who's like, you scare away the pigeons he was playing with, and then he's like, you made the pigeons fly away. You can say, well, no, it's okay, Timmy, they'll come back. And he says, but what if they fly away and never come back, just like Dad? I'm like, Jesus, Timmy. And there's several moments like that where I've actually been kind of surprised, where I'm like, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because this game is made in China, which is, I don't think I've ever played a game made from China before.
Well, it sounds like a lot of people haven't, because I'll just throw this out there real quick. According to Daniel Ahmad, Genshin Impact has grossed over 100 million in less than 2 weeks. The most successful launch for original IP from a Chinese dev.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine there's not a whole lot of competition because, I think most stuff like this was still outlawed not long ago in China. So, but between like this and that freaking Wukong thing we saw, there's starting to be some crazy ass shit coming from China. And this game is pretty gorgeous at times. Like when you walk up and see
play on PS4, it's got a little better, but there was some kind of stutter and stuff. But I am playing on a base PS4. I can't remember if they said it's gonna be. Let's see.
It's been pretty crisp and clean for me. I've had like maybe 1 or 2 frame drops for a second, but like it's been pretty buttery smooth. I'm playing on PC, but
just a little frame drops here and there, a little bit of popping. But I guess also throw this in there and go on. As far as our post game, because I don't have too much to add for gameplay that you have already said, because I'm kind of early. I mainly fucked around. They talked about working on more characters. There's apparently only 20 total playable ones right now.
That's still a lot.
They're going to be new locations. Apparently, there's only 2 cities. They're going to add more land in another one. And they're going to work on next gen versions, but not planning on an Xbox.
Interesting.
So hopefully, there's not cross progression right now between PS4 and the other shit. But hopefully, PS4 to PS5. I gotta imagine that will hopefully come.
Yeah. So I'm wondering how much is this going to be like a live service game? Like
it sounds like it's a live service game because it seems like. Let's see. This is what a spokesperson said. And the current version is only a portion of the content. We will continue developing even more content and gameplay while also releasing updates and optimizations. So the project that goes online isn't the final version, but rather the first step.
I think overall that's good. I mean, because of having the multiple characters and like being able to cycle around them and stuff, I mean, this feels like a game that would never really be my main game, but I would dabble in every now and then when I see like, ooh, there's new characters. I'll go like jump in there or whatever. I think that I could see myself doing that for this a lot. I hope, I'm hoping, because there is multiplayer, I have no clue what it's like, or like if it's a separate mode or if it's you and your friends running around doing the same missions here or something. I hope that that's something that can like breathe life into this when I start getting tired of it. Like I hope that, when maybe I'm starting to get through with the single player stuff or whatever, I'm hoping that's something that like me, you, maybe Alex or someone will enjoy.
Hopefully, we'll find out at some point. I think I saw something about rank 15 maybe.
Okay.
I'm already at 5 or something.
I don't remember what I'm
for
at.
The adventure rank.
I think I'm at 7.
I don't know if you knew this, but the Switch version is already confirmed.
Yeah, I did see that shortly after I looked into it. But
that's nice. Luckily for you, it's confirmed cross progression.
It is. So okay.
I imagine so. I imagine. I don't. The PS4 thing, it might just be a weird thing on Sony's end because they have been weird. Nintendo seems to be actually open to it.
Okay, yeah, that would be sweet if it's cross progression. And yeah, just hop over on the Switch. That'd be great.
Yep.
Now that I've seen this game a little bit more, I do worry a little bit about how it run on Switch because
especially I'm already having some drops in
chaotic fights. There's a lot going on on the screen, and it's a little more. It's prettier than I think the trailers did it justice. When I got in there for the first time, I'm like, wow, this looks good. Like I love that like kind of cell shaded. Like I don't know, Breath of the Wild did a lot of good things for the gaming industry. Just people copying them, and that art style is another one. It's good. Anime Breath of the Wild. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good holdover for Breath of the Wild too, I believe. Like I think it's actually something I'm gonna want to keep going, at least in the background of my gaming. Yeah.
Mess around with some. It has over 17 million downloads on mobile alone. Dear Lord.
Wow. Pretty big deal.
Yep. It's also a big deal. Crash Bandicoot. Boop boop.
Wait, have you actually played this?
I played it some, yeah.
Okay.
I played. I don't know how long I played it. Then I realized while I was home, I can get a lot done with the next game we'll talk about. So I'm not going to talk about this long. Got Crash 4. Played some of it. Pretty damn good. Gotten used to the. I mentioned when I played the demo that I had some problem getting used to the controls. I definitely got more used to that now that I've started from the beginning and doing all that, which is nice. Mass power so far, I really like the implementation of those so far. They do a bunch of funky shit. I got one. The one I got right now just bleep stuff in and out of existence.
Okay.
So you're doing some crazy stuff like you're jumping. You're on one thing. You jump, do the mass power. The thing you jumped on disappears. The thing you're about to jump on appears, and you're doing a bunch of crazy shit with that.
That's cool.
And I'm already like, okay, they're gonna get some crazy stuff with these abilities, especially as the game goes on. I'm excited to go through and play as all these different characters because you play as Crash and Coco, but then you got 3 more characters to mess around with completely different abilities,
which is very cool.
Yeah. And also something interesting for as far as replay value goes, because Crash is kind of known for that. For each level, you can get like 6, I guess, diamond things or whatever for different things, like getting all the Wumpa fruits or breaking all the crates or keeping your only dying like 3 times.
Can you still spell Crash with the letters?
I have not seen that now.
Dead game.
And when you get all of them for a level, you unlock a costume for Crash or Coco. It's like, okay, that's how they get you.
And I hear it's hard as fuck.
Yeah. Doing the 100% lanes for levels in right now is not a cakewalk. I can't speak to just beating levels in general. They haven't been that bad.
Yeah, beating it sounds doable, but people talking about doing the 100% is very brutal.
Yeah, we'll see how I'll do all that. I'm going to give it an attempt.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you wanting to put in the effort.
Yep.
And
as I mentioned before, moving up as we get closer to this game coming out, I just love we have a 3D platformer with an actual budget that's not really good. That's not by Nintendo, or I guess Sony. We get a couple from Sony, but
it's kind of a different. It's a different style of one. It's not like a really good 3D platformer. It just directly copies something else. Yeah. It doesn't even seem like it directly copies previous Crash. It seems like it takes the essence of Crash but like moves it forward. I've seen a lot of people say like, we all have nostalgia for the original Crash games or whatever, but like this is an actual good game. It's one of those, like the original Crash, they don't hold up super well. You can still love them for nostalgia and everything. Like there's plenty of games that don't hold up great that I love, but this one legitimately seems like you can give this game to anyone. Like this is it's just good.
Yep.
It's very well made.
Yep.
Which it kind of sucks that I feel like I don't see nearly as many people talking about this as like the Insane Trilogy days. Like even though it's really good and I've yet to see a single person say anything negative about it, I feel like that crazy hype did not travel to this game.
Yeah, it's just a mix of the Crash resurgence and that for some people coming back because those are the games they love with the new fresh coat of paint. But a lot of those people not really caring for a brand new game.
I don't even think they know it exists. I think if you went to half of those people and said, hey, there's a new Crash game out, I don't think they know that.
That's fair, yeah. Anyone who follows video games to a decent amount point will probably know, but a lot of people who bought Crash Insane Trilogy aren't those people.
Yeah. I mean, it's on them to get that in front of people's eyes, but it's just...
I think the marketing has been really good for Crash overall as far as like what they've actually put out, but I didn't really think about it until you said it. They haven't done it in a way that gets outside the video game sphere, because... stuff with Jeff Keighley and the stuff with the PlayStation stuff, it only does to the hardcore video game crowd. That doesn't necessarily get it out there.
Seems like with a lot of games and stuff, there's just a certain threshold of popularity you have to get to, and once you get to that point, everyone starts getting out to the normies, and then you just hit the ground running. It's like Witcher did that. Witcher was like really big, and then it got to a certain level of big, and then it's like, okay, now we're going all the way to like 30 something million, because like now all the normies know about it. It's like there's just some like threshold, I guess. Like when these people know, they tell these people, and then it's like, boom. And Insane Trilogy 100% got to that. That thing sold crazy.
And it was over 10 million at some point.
Like, and this is not going to get anywhere close to it. As sad as that is, it just doesn't, even though they did everything right, it seems like. But hopefully it'll do enough for Activision to not kill any future projects or anything like that.
Yeah, but I'll have plenty more Crash to talk about in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
But what I had been playing a lot of this past week, because I have been kind of sick, still not feeling 100% at the moment, feeling a little stuffed up and all that.
But it's not Rona.
It's not Rona. I got tested for that. I am negative.
How great was that nose swab?
I've gotten it twice because yesterday when the doctor, they did it again for the flu test.
It does not sound pleasant.
No, it's not. The flu one's better than the Rona one.
Persona 5 Royale.
I probably played like 40 hours of this game in the last.
Oh my god,
something like that.
That's insane.
I don't know what I should have realized this was coming in. Kind of made mental note of the time I started with, but I'm about 100 hours now.
How many palaces have you completed in just this week?
3.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot of Persona time.
It is a lot of Persona time.
Well, I have to imagine you're liking it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's trash.
No, it's trash, man. But I had to finish it so I can trash it.
Yeah, I gotta finish it so I can go to the Resetter forums.
Yep, that is what it is. Like for some people, they gotta But no, I'm really loving this game. I don't think that's a surprise at all. I mean, I loved it when I tried it the first time around 3 years ago at this point. And put 40 hours in. So overall, I put in 140 hours into Persona 5
this year. Or no, you mean
just
overall,
in general.
Yeah. Nice.
100 just these last couple months. I'm glad I decided whenever I did to just get Royal and just start playing it. I didn't know it'd work out this great, but
yeah, you actually sounds like you're in pretty good shape to finish this up well before Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Which is nice.
But yeah, no, this was always one of those like weird things that if people like listen to our podcast and they're like, oh, which one of these guys has played Persona 5 and which one hasn't? I think it would have been like, you're obviously the one that would have.
I don't think it helps that like if you just kind of just watch our things in a vacuum and you see our Joker Smash reaction, you think, oh, he's obviously the one. He's
obviously played. Neither of us had played it at that
point. Or at least,
I mean, we had all played. We both played part of it.
Yeah.
It was shortly after that reaction that I went crazy with it.
Yeah.
But like, no, this game is fucking phenomenal, and I'm so glad I get to actually talk to you about that stuff.
Yeah. So it sounds like based on us talking without doing spoiler stuff, I am close to end with the general Persona 5 stuff, and then it's the royal shit. Then I have no idea what's gonna be involved in that.
Which is, now that I know where he's at and he still hasn't gotten to the big royal like content thing, it freaking blows my mind how late in the game they added that.
Yeah, so especially since I have put like 45 hours in the first Persona 5, it's a lot easier for me to get a grasp on what's royal stuff and what isn't, namely whatever stuff is and obviously involves Maruki and Kasumi, and I guess extra stuff for Takechi, because you get to see a lot more of him.
A lot of extra.
I mentioned it to Darby, but there are some Akechi scenes that were obviously just from the original Persona 5 that are just kind of weird now, because they make it sound like you guys haven't really talked besides the time you first met. It's like, Akechi, we've hung out like 5 times.
Which I'm not surprised. I'm kind of surprised that hasn't happened more often, because this seems like a very difficult thing to just insert all this into a story and hold it together.
Which is something that you were kind of surprised about to a point, because you keep on asking me, okay, so you got Kasumi in your party, right? I'm like, nah.
Like, okay. Well,
I'm about done with the base game, and I've had her for a total of 3 fights.
Like, it blows my mind. I mean, I thought there was a certain point in the story, and we're going to talk vague about everything, but there was a certain point in the story, basically the palace after you get the last normal character in the base game. I was like, okay, at least at that point, that has to be the latest point, dude. It's like, Jeff is 2 palaces past that now. Like, you are very close to the end of the game. So Kazumi is literally just going to be there for the extra big royal palace and the very end of the game, and that is it. It's like, that is a bummer to me, at least. I mean, to play that much of the game and get a new party member that late, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I get it in a way to just because that's a lot to add, like, depending. A lot of extra voice stuff.
I feel a tad misled. Maybe it's my fault, but it's like, it was like, ooh, new party member. It's like, new party member for not even the last quarter of the game.
Yeah. I give a mention to Darby. Like, she's a part of the game kind of throughout, comes in and out and stuff, and you have a bunch of scenes with her. She's great. But yeah, as far as the party member stuff, I agree with Darby. I thought she was going to be a party member for more, like, actually just insert it into the story, even if it is a little weird and she's just kind of just their thing.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, I was always thinking that was going to be a hard thing to do, but I just assumed that's what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But.
And us kind of talking, I guess, depending. I mean, even if the royal thing is great, and you're just going to go off like me, like. I mean, I'll look to see what's just the royal stuff after I'm done, just to make sure I guess I know what I can or cannot talk to you about, try to avoid stuff. But I imagine for you hearing this stuff, it's you've been interested in playing royal, but hearing that the big new stuff isn't really till the end of the game. It's kind of like it's 100 hours in. It's kind of like maybe I will hold off for this a little longer.
It certainly dampens the immediate enthusiasm to go out and do it, because this is a long ass game that in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long ago I played it. I love replaying games, but usually if it's going to be a big RPG like that, then it's probably going to be put some time.
There are a lot of quality of life stuff and all that stuff. You at the very least, especially since you're in. Since you play the game and kind of knows the ins and out more than I did going into it, you should be able to do more of the confidant stuff, because it sounds that I was able to max out like double what you were able to do.
Yeah, it's I've been saying over and over again, every time Jeff tells me some new thing they added mechanics wise in the Royal, it's literally like you got a Game Shark cheat code thing for Persona 5, because he has double the amount of opportunities to talk to confidants, to level things up, to get healing and SP items. It's just ridiculous.
You need to do a lot more stuff when Morgana doesn't tell you to go to sleep.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that does kind of suck that I just feel like I got a slightly inferior version just because I played it. Even though I don't know, some of the I think definitely inferior, but some of the changes I'm like, this feels like too much when it comes to the mechanics changes, but most of it sounds good. Yes. Yep. So we'll talk about it more when Jeff's completely done. Don't know exactly how, because I don't want big royal spoilers. I guess Jeff can get to the end and see if he thinks that it's. If you're just it's not that big of a deal, then maybe I'll whatever. But it's still.
We can at least do a general discussion on the rest of it, and I can do very vague stuff. Talk very vague about royal specific stuff.
It's a tough thing because I mean it is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's new story elements to my favorite game of all time. You know, it's like I want to experience that on my own, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Well,
I have on this because I kind of want to just do a general discussion on this. It doesn't have to be long. I got Fall Guys Season 2 on here. It came out this week. We dabbled in it a little bit. We don't necessarily talk about the levels because we didn't play all of them.
Unfortunately.
We played 2 of them. Yeah. I guess we can talk about how we feel about those. But main reason I wanted to bring this up is, we were talking about Fall Guys really needs to do stuff to keep the player base engaged and stuff. We're like, okay, they're doing it slow. They did the remixes, which is cool. I really like those. But Season 2 is coming. Okay, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Comes out. All that kind of stuff will be great. And only 4 levels.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I don't want to be a super downer, but by the time we were getting to the end of that session, I had a blast playing that night and everything, but I already, towards the end of that, it felt like I started getting okay, I've done this a lot now. It's still enjoying it, it's still something I'll be down to play whenever we all, get a chance to get together and everything, but the novelty is already starting to wear off for me. And I don't think that Season 2, I don't think this is doing enough, Yeah. Like you said, we played for a good 2 hours or something, and we played 2 new levels 2 times each. But other than that, it was all just the stuff that we had already done a bunch of.
Some with some remixes and stuff.
And this was already a game that for me was never going to have, if it didn't add a bunch, it was never going to last that long because... it's a simple concept, really good concept.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need to experiment with that concept a lot, or it's going to get stale really fast. And
it's not I'm curious to see how this does in the long run. Fall Guys, when we get to the end of the year, is going to be compared to Among Us a lot because partly they're jelly bean characters, but come out around the same time, having the same thing. Getting really popular. Among Us,
not come out around the same time. Got popular around the same time.
You're right. But I feel like with Among Us, if we, let's say hypothetically we were able to get people consistently to do that, I think that's gonna be the main problem with us with that game.
Yeah,
I feel like we would be able to do that longer because each game will be different. It's like Secret Hitler, pretty much, which we can get a lot of time out of.
Yeah,
just the style of the game, like you were saying, for Fall Guys, for a lot of people. Without the new stuff, doesn't have as much staying power necessarily.
No, and I mean, honestly, both of those games, they're party games. They're not something you're going to want to play all the time. And if you play it all the time, you're going to run it to the ground. I mean, that's just how they're meant to be that way. Mm-hmm. Sadly, for Fall Guys, I just feel like it's going to get forgotten. It's going to just kind of get left in the past if it can't keep people on. And I think, Season 2 is the only thing we have to go off of. And I would say it does not do that. It doesn't really meet the mark as far as especially coming into the fall with so much else going on. I just struggle to see this being enough to keep those numbers up. I'm not saying it's completely doom and gloom. They've obviously already made way more money than they probably ever expected to. It could completely die right now, and they probably still would be, better than expected. But yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Among Us, I really want to play Among Us. It's just that's like you said. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, where it's they want to play it, but getting that many people together is hard.
Yep.
But we will do it at Halloween at the very least.
Yep.
Yee.
Okay, I didn't expect to get to this point earlier, Darby, but time for news.
We are long-winded, Jeff.
We are.
Jingle, jingle, jangle.
Jingle, jingle, jangle, indeed. Let's start talking about PS5 Backwards Compatibility, Darby. This comes from Matt Perslow from IGN. Sony has confirmed that save data can be transferred from PS4 to PS5, as well as listed 10 games that will not be compatible with the PS5.
Who didn't make the cut?
In a new PlayStation support page, Sony states that you can transfer digital games and save data from PS4 console to a PS5 console using Wi-Fi data transfer. There's no information as to if PS4's cloud saves can be downloaded onto a PS5 console. There's an update there, so we'll get to that. In addition, the backwards compatibility instructions reveal that playing digitally purchased PS4 games will just be a case of downloading them from your game library to PS5, while discs can simply be inserted. As for what games are backwards compatible, Sony once again states that the overwhelming majority of the 4,000 plus PS4 games will be playable on PS5, and here's a list of about 10-ish. DWVR, Afro Samurai 2, Revenge of Kuma, Volume 1. TT Isle of Man, Ride on the Edge 2. Just deal with it. Shadow Complex Remastered. Robinson, The Journey. We Sing. Hitman Go, Definitive Edition. Honestly, that's the one that I'm like, that's the weirdest one.
First one I recognize.
Yeah. Shadwin. Joe's Diner.
Not Joe's Diner.
Yep.
I had such big plans. Imagine how much better Joe's Diner would look with the PS5, Joe.
I know. Select PS4 games will benefit from Game Boost, will make them run smoother and all that kind of stuff. And a little update then later in a new PlayStation blog post, Sony has elaborated on the upcoming PS4, PS5 compatibility features. If you're on the support page, save data can be transferred from PS4 to PS5, but it will be a developer decision. And cloud and stuff is a thing. So what Sony is saying there, the last thing, if you can't transfer your data, blame the dev.
Don't get on our Twitter. Don't send us messages.
It is a thing that is allowed. It should be clear. It is up to the developer. Which, it's a weird thing. Like, yeah, unfortunately, it feels like we've already seen some developers. I can't remember off the top of my head. Like,
I know Yakuza, I think, was one of them. I think I remember people talking about that being one, like for Xbox.
Yeah.
That being one that you couldn't transfer your data over.
No.
I mean, this is good news that's just a thing for most games. It's another thing. It's like, why didn't you just say this earlier? But
I don't know. They're being weird. But this is all good. It's kind of answers our questions about it, that we'll just be able to shove our disc in. Yeah.
There. I mean, it is a pretty big deal because, like, especially if you get like I don't know, Cyberpunk's not. If you get like, you know, Assassin's Creed or something that comes out a little bit before consoles or whatever, you get some game ahead of time or whatever, and then you get the PS5, but your save doesn't transfer over, you're gonna be like, all right, well, I guess I'll just keep playing the inferior PS4 version. Damn, you know, it's like, that sucks. Like, no,
again, this makes complete sense because there's so many. I mean, I know this is the case for other generations, but it's not really much of an excuse now. There's so many games coming out like right before launch. Yeah, that people will be playing before, because Assassin's Creed comes out days before PS5.
So same with Cyberpunk still comes out before, right?
It comes out after.
Is it after?
A couple days. Okay. Like a week.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I might be able to get done with Miles Morales, hopefully.
Right.
That's the hope and plan. So, yeah.
Good news.
Yep.
Good news.
Also, I guess good news. I guess no reason for it to be bad. This comes from Tom Ward from The Verge. Microsoft is working on a direct browser-based solution to bring Xcloud to iOS early next year. Sources familiar with Microsoft plans tell The Verge that the company has been developing a web version of Xcloud to run on iOS and iPadOS devices, alongside continuing its work on an app that hopes will also eventually run on Apple platforms. Microsoft Gaming Chief Phil Spencer revealed the company's browser-based Xcloud would work during a recent internal hands-on meeting. Quote, we absolutely will end up on iOS. This just goes
confident.
On. The rest of the thing goes on to say Apple's being a dick.
Yep. People having to make weird workarounds for Apple's stupid.
Like, it's so dumb. Like, I mean, this is not the only thing. Like, xCloud's now a thing that I should be able to use with my Game Pass subscription, but I can't because Apple's being dumb.
It's really obnoxious. And I thought that this was still illegal in Apple's policies to do this direct to browser, because that's also kind of what. Well, no, Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite wasn't. But I guess Fortnite, I think, does subvert the App Store for you to download the game. I think, or I don't remember. I don't know. Either way, it sucks that they have to do all this, and it sucks that, like you said, you're still waiting on this. This should be a thing that you've already been able to test.
Yeah,
I guess I should try to test it.
I guess I could. Might as well use my account on your thing.
I should try, yeah. Oh, yeah, that Ultimate, don't you? Forgot about that.
Or maybe the PC one works too. I can't remember at the moment.
Yeah.
You might be able to do it on your own account anyway.
I don't know.
We can try either way.
We can try it.
For the shits and giggles.
Try it. But good that they're confident that they'll be there in some way.
Yep. I think that's the fastest we gotten through like our first 2 news articles.
Well, they're not the biggest, and we're kind of rushing to make up for time. But if we were going to spend a bunch of time on something, it should have been anime. So we did.
It's true.
We did the Lord's work.
Speaking of anime, this comes to Sal Romano from Gamatsu. Basic development and scenario production for Final Fantasy 16 already complete, according to a new recruitment page for the title on Square Enix's careers
that
website.
Says already compete.
You know what, Darby? I'm trying to help Sal out if I not read out his typo.
I'm calling them right out, throwing them right under that bus.
Quote, we have already completed basic development and scenario production and are continuing to create a large-scale resources and build boss battles while expanding our various development tools, the site reads. Also, most of our staff are carrying out their work remotely, end quote. Square Enix is currently seeking final step to help complete the world of Final Fantasy 16, various stages of fields, large-scale cutscenes, character actions, and so on. So, the weird thing about this is like, who knows, especially since it's a Japanese company, being Square in particular, who knows what this means. But this could potentially go in line with, we've heard like Jason Schreier stuff said that this game might be farther along than you would think. And the reason we think it might not be far along because it's fucking Square Enix.
Yes, they've had 3 games in a row with Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy
15.
Both of 7 remake and 15. Yeah. All 3 of those games were announced, and then like 5 years later, is this game still alive? I don't know. So I would take it like that's as far as I would take it. I wouldn't. People inevitably will take this and be like,
"It's coming next year.
It's coming spring 2021." It's like. I think, this is a good sign that this game has been worked on for a while. It kind of also goes along with the fact that we saw gameplay in that trailer. I mean, that trailer that trailer already looked like one step beyond a reveal trailer already. And it makes sense, especially the 14. If a lot of people from 14 were making it, 15's been done for a long time. I mean, if it's some amalgamation of those 2 teams, that makes sense that it would be pretty far along. Yeah. I would still expect this game 2022. Yeah, 2022. I meant like probably early 2022. There's a chance for late 2021, but I would expect early 2022.
There's a chance that Square has learned the error of their ways and trying to do it close. They could be planning or originally planned for late next year, but COVID is a factor. So when we talk about plans of, they might be planning for this time. It's like, well, it'll probably be. Probably. Who the hell knows?
Those plans, not many plans in COVID stay. You don't normally stay with plan A. Yeah. But overall, I think it's a good time.
Yeah.
At the very least, I feel pretty confident that we're not going to have Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts, or 7 remake style of drug out development,
Yeah. Did they? They didn't say we were seeing it next year, did they?
I don't know.
Some people confirmed they were seeing stuff next year. I can't remember if they did or not.
I mean, I feel like we will, regardless. But yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. Now, Darby, it's time for the ever popular segment. Everyone gets a TV show and movie.
Oh.
In this case, some people get multiple.
Some people have all the riches.
I'm reading this stuff off on the Bell's Twitter, but it comes from Deadline. New Resident Evil movie announced. It is an official origin story adaptation with faithful ties to Capcom's classic survival horror games. It's set in 1998 in Raccoon City, directed by Johannes Roberts, who did 47 Meter Down. And we have a cast. I don't know if you know any of these people, Darby.
Those are a bunch of people.
I actually know a couple of them.
I recognize the guy in the bottom left. I don't know what from.
Umbrella Academy, maybe. Oh, he's also in Game of Thrones.
That's it. Yep. He was Dickon Tarley.
Yep. So let's go over that. Kaya Scodelario from Maze Runner is Claire. Hannah John Kamen from Ant-Man and the Wasp is Jill. Robbie Amell from Upload and the Arrowverse and all a bunch of shit is Chris Redfield. Tom Hopper from the Umbrella Academy and Game of Thrones is Wesker. Even Joshi, I don't know how to pronounce that name. And I'm sure there's a
Jagia.
I'm sure there's something with something that sounds like an H. From Zombieland Double Tap is Leon. And Neil McDown from Yellowstone, Sonic the Hedgehog, Arrowverse, he's in a bunch of shit, is William Birkin. Also, before we get into that, we got a little more information from frequent insider Dust Golem, who's usually on the money with Capcom / Resident Evil stuff.
Yes.
For the record, the Resident Evil film reboot is about Chris and Claire being orphans who grew up in Raccoon City, a shithole city in this universe, in an orphanage where kids will regularly go missing. Chris goes on to become a cop there. Claire tries to convince him to leave. Leon is a hungover cop who shot his partner in training on accident, whose only saving grace is his dad is a big shot at the police force, who gets caught in this with Chris and Claire. Irons and Ada are also in the movie. Weirdly, Wesker works for Ada in this universe.
So it's completely different, right?
Yeah. It's very, very different. Just kind of, I guess, a whole general thing. At the very least, I guess, it's automatically closer than the other Resident Evil movies because it actually has these characters right off the bat.
Yes, yeah. It has more than the name.
Yeah, because the other one, the characters ended up being in it, but in the first movie, there were no game characters from my recollection.
But that could also make it more painful for Resident Evil fans if it takes the characters that they do love and botches it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trepidatious for you and for other people.
Yeah.
More for, I mean, you're not like the biggest Resident Evil fan in the world who's played all the games. I'm more worried about those people. Yeah, I mean, does it have no ties to those movies whatsoever, right?
Absolutely no ties.
Not the same director, not anything
No.
That's good.
No, that director is, I believe, working on Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I know that's true. And you can tell.
Yeah. So as far as this cast, it's a very weird thing. I read those names, Darby. I don't know if you know who's who necessarily. You might be able to do process of elimination. I think the weird thing to me is I think I'm okay with these actors. I like these actors, but I feel like the roles should be switched up a little bit. I think Tom Hopper from Umbrella Academy should be Chris. He looks like Chris, more like Chris to me.
Okay, yeah.
Especially since I'm used to seeing him buff like Chris is in Umbrella Academy. And I think Neil, who's playing Birkin, would be a really good Wesker.
Interesting.
But he could also be a good Birkin. That doesn't do anything for Robbie Amell. I worry about him because some of the stuff, he's very hit or miss from what I've seen as an actor. Also, fun fact, I guess for you, he is the cousin of the guy who plays Green Arrow in the Arrowverse. Stephen Amell.
And the family.
Yep. Hannah is really good, in my opinion, in Ant-Man. That's my extent of it. I am nothing about this. I'm too. Some people are upset that Leon and Jill are being played by people of color.
Is that the only MCU movie I haven't seen? No, I haven't seen the first Ant-Man either. I haven't seen either of the Ant-Mans.
They're good ones.
The Ant-Man.
So yeah, those are my thoughts on that cast. Looks good overall. I like some switching around it. I don't know why. Just thinking of him as Wesker is weird to me, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
At least we're making progress, like you said. Yep. At least the movies are actually somewhat related to the games. We also have an animated thing. Resident Evil's just back, but we might be getting on the trail to Resident Evil losing its way again if they just start overloading us with things that aren't good.
I look at it this way: as long as the games keep up, I really don't care too much.
Yeah, and that is very fair.
Because I'm used to any video game related media just being bad. We got a couple good things, but they're generally bad.
Yeah, we got Sonic and Detective Pikachu. That's about it, right?
Apparently, Dragon's Dogma is not good.
Yeah, apparently it's awful.
So. Yeah. Okay. So now, Darby, we talked about this rumor last week. Now it is confirmed. We talked about some Mortal Kombat characters. I thought there was going to be an extra one from the rumors we talked about. Nope. It was just straight up these characters for a character pass, whatever, to.
I think they've yet to announce a character that wasn't leaked ahead of time.
Yeah. Melina, Rain, and Rambo were officially announced.
Fucking Rambo. We're running out of 70s and 80s action heroes to put in these things.
And Stallone is voicing Rambo.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure about that. When I heard the voice, I was like, is this or is this an all?
Ed Boon confirmed.
Okay.
So that is there. So Melina's back. A lot of people are really happy about that. So I saw a weird article of saying Melina's design took away from her character partly because it doesn't have lips like MKX or something.
Like you can't see her teeth, you mean?
Or no, it's the fact you can't see her teeth in this one. Like it's all teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I thought she was wearing the mask, but
it might have wore the mask in the trailer, but there are screens of her without it from this game. I don't know. Some people are just upset she's not hot enough.
They clothed her,
or they in a weird way kind of de-skinned her because you can see her teeth. Like people want the lips there because it makes her look hot. Even though I always thought that looked weird on her. If I'm being honest,
I would have to see this. I'm not picturing lips. I'm just usually
like. Let me just pull it up.
I mean,
we went on a weird tangent. Okay, you can pull it up.
I can pull it up. It's fine. But I mean, generally, Melina was like my best character in X. So she like her play style. I'm usually that's what I care about. Her play style was usually I like her like the ball roll, the thing. I mean, a lot of Mortal Kombat has nostalgia. A lot of the same moves travel from game to game. Yeah. I think 11 did a good job of enhancing those and adding new stuff, so I'm excited to see what they do with Melina. It's one of those, obviously we all expected her to be in there at launch, so it's it's nice that she's here at some point, and I'll be excited to play her. Rambo is obviously exciting because it's just what the hell is this game at this point with RoboCop and Terminator?
The only thing about Rambo that I can see people being a bummer about is just another dude with a gun.
Yeah,
and from people that have played a lot more than we have. Well, in my case, people have actually played the game compared to me not doing it. The Terminator and RoboCop aren't exactly the best characters.
No, it seems like that player type, character type, they don't seem to handle super duper well. So we're saying we liked this one and don't like. So this is the one without the lips. Or
yeah.
Okay. And then is it X that has the lips?
Yeah.
I mean, I like their I forgot about that.
The lips always look weird to me.
Yeah, that is kind of strange. Yeah, it's weird. I'm fine with the just make her a full on like horror creature.
Yeah, that's what she's supposed to be.
I guess it makes her harder to cosplay.
Yeah, that's why they gave you the mask.
There you go.
Especially nowadays, the perfect time for Melina cosplay.
It is very, yeah. Everyone go out there, scare your neighbors.
Yep.
But I like that they actually have made like Katana and Melina Asian.
Yes.
How they're supposed 100%. To be Asian, but they always like whiteified them in every game up until this one. And
I agree 100%. That's something that people immediately like.
Yeah.
Applauded when Katana was announced for 11. Like, finally.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... And it makes you realize yet again just how infrequently you see Asian models or actors or anything in anything. It's just, you never ever do. I think that's cool.
Yep. And then we have Rain. Character I'm glad they put in because people kind of felt... they missed out on them in X because they were playable. Like, you fought against him in the story. He had moves, but was never added to the game.
Yeah. That was
so it's nice to get another ninja in there. It's nice to see one that hasn't been there in years at this point.
Yeah, I barely ever played Rain because Rain was DLC for 9. So by the time he got out there, I had already played the game for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I wasn't playing this much then. So he's more or less new to me. I haven't really played him very much. Like maybe a long time ago in one of the old ones, but not a lot. So I'm interested about that. Yeah.
Does this do anything as far as potentially wanting you to get back in?
Yeah, I'll probably. I imagine is there just a pack with these 3 or something?
Yes. So there's more stuff about that. They also, along with this, announced an Ultimate Edition, which is coming out November 17th, which has everything.
Yeah, I'm in a weird spot because I want like all the characters of the last thing, but I don't actually want the story, and then I want these characters. It's like I don't know.
So unless the price they're going down in price, if I'm understanding correctly, the Ultimate Edition will be $60, but Aftermath, if you still have the game, is $40.
Yeah.
So if you were to get Aftermath and this, because you got the first character pass, it's almost
Good lord.
You might as well get it's almost about the cost of the Ultimate Edition. So like if you wanted it on a different I mean, you get a free next gen upgrade.
Yeah.
Like they said that's gonna be a thing, but let's say you want on a PC to get those graphics. You might it might be you might as well buy it on the hair type thing.
That's so much damn money.
Yeah.
And I've already bought one of the passes, you know. For
at least you got most of the characters, but the aftermath stuff and maybe not have to check now. I imagine you would be able to get the DLC characters if you just wanted those separately.
I'm sure it could. I'm sure it adds up to be a lot of money, but
still cheap.
I know at least at launch you couldn't do that for aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
You might be
because we looked like immediately.
Yeah,
I remember that.
But you might be able to now.
Yeah.
But
I think that'd be really weird.
That'd be really weird if just these specific characters are tied in. You have to spend this $40 DLC thing. Oh, but everyone else is fine. That would be very strange, but it might be.
I'd imagine you'd be good on that front. So yeah.
Yep. So cool stuff. Very cool game. I need to get back to it. I need to go play things.
Time for other news, which ended up having a good bit of news that we'll probably talk about some, but whatever. Let's see. Okay, first thing. Guilty Gear Strive, we got some new information on. We got a new character, Giovanna.
Giovanna, I immediately thought of Dia.
Giovanna. Got Giovanna. She's a brand new character to the Guilty Gear series. I think the second brand new character from this game. We also got that release date coming April 9th. Which we knew it was coming next year. Got pushed back, but we got that hard date on it.
Right, one of the first big games we know about next year.
They have an exact date, yeah. So that's exciting. Also, with Giovanna, they announced at the end of the trailer that there are only going to be 15 characters at launch. I keep on saying only 15, but with all the animation in, 15 is not nothing.
But we know in our hearts that it's going to end up being like 35, but you're going to have to spend basically the cost of the game on DLC characters.
They also announced the first season pass. They call it Season Pass 1, which includes 5 characters.
Why are fighting games so obnoxious with their business models?
Yeah, and also this is Arc System Works, so there will probably be a separate DLC character, not in this pass. That will be day 1.
Yeah,
because that's how life works.
Just fighting games in general are just like the most degenerate business models there are. That's just become an accepted thing at this point. It's like, like freaking League of Legends is not. It's like, League of Legends is just like I like things like League of Legends because like people spend a shit ton of money on the microtransactions, but it is all cosmetic, you know. I mean, it's not. I guess you can unlock more characters, but it's like you know, there's things. Overwatch, same deal or whatever. But like the fighting games have just been like, nope. This is a competitively viable thing. Like you're gonna face these people online, but if you want this guy, you better shell up some more money. It's like that sucks.
It makes it hard to get into like trying to try out a bunch of fighting games because you're quickly just kind of very out of date.
It's like the guy there has access to a character that I just don't. Yeah. You know, that sucks. I hate that.
Yeah. So there's that. Game looks very pretty. The new character looks really good. Very toned down. It feels like she has a little wolf stand thing. It's called wolf ghost thing.
Not everyone has to be crazy.
Yeah. Just in general, I think Maximilian dude said she kind of like a King of Fighters character. Like, besides the little ghost thing hanging around, a couple things there, generally, which is cool. Yeah. I mean, kind of like Little Mac and Smash, a more basic thing makes it stand out in this game with all this wacky shit. Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say let's skip the next story.
Okay. We got Watch Dogs Legion DLC announcement. Well, you won't always get Watch Dogs.
Slow down, Ubisoft. Let's see how the base game does first. Not that I'm like super worried, but I'm not completely convinced that Watch Dogs Legion is going to be successful. So it's like let's just see. Let's settle down. Stay calm.
Yeah, I can't remember everything. They went over the most interesting thing for me. They went into more detail on Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline DLC. I think it's called, where Aiden Pierce comes in. But they also went in some other characters you can play as a part of that DLC. Wrench from Watch Dogs 2, which is awesome. He's not the playable character. He's the guy with a weird funky mask, which is cool. Some other new character, I believe. I can't remember their name, but they really showed her off. But also, they're allowing you to play as an assassin from the Assassin's Creed. They've always hinted at the two universes being them being in the same universe.
So this is in the story. There's an assassin. It's not just like goofy fan service.
It technically in the story, but they also confirmed that this is technically not canon to Assassin's Creed, so it's also just goofy fan service.
Okay.
It's not just commit to it, Ubisoft.
I want it to be like a dude who's like a really big Assassin's Creed fan dresses up as Ezio or something.
I think I guess it's also cool. I think it's a chick, like a girl assassin, which is cool.
Maybe she's a descendant.
Yeah. So that's cool. It's a bummer they're not going full on like confirmation. Like, yeah, this is confirmation that they're in the same universe. This is all canon and shit. That is a bummer. Also something that they announced that makes me feel better about potentially in this game next year and not at launch is they're going to add new types of characters into the game for free. I think it was. The example I saw that stood out to me is a hypnotist. That you'd be able to recruit and stuff like that. It's like, okay, awesome.
Yeah,
let's add all this goofy shit in there.
I'm still very like, I mean, my percent chance of this game being good has definitely gone up in the positives, where there's like a 70% chance or something of it being good, but I still think there's a decent chance that like even you come in here and like the first. You've had the game, you played it for like 5 or 6 hours, and you're like, this game is really, really fun. And then when you're in hour 20, it'll be like, okay, all right. It's just like, I don't really care about any of these characters I've had. Just flip with it, like, I don't know.
Oh, no, yeah, that's definitely fair, which is also good. Another good thing that I'm already out of my mind about getting day one, so I can just see impressions. And if that's like just a common thing, I can just kind of push it farther and farther back.
I think it's going to be, there is something good there. It's just, do they have enough for that to go 20 hours? That's the question.
We will see. The Medium launches December 10th. Let's go, baby.
Get a little out of the console.
Yeah, I got to give up for Game of the Game when we're talking about potential games to play.
I thought it was a launch title, but...
I can't remember if they ever said. I mean, they talked about it being like a launch window at the very least.
But close enough. I mean, it's fine.
But, I'll try to look at playing this game. It's on Game Pass, so why the hell not?
I'm going to be in Cyberpunk time, but it definitely looks like a cool game.
Yep. Very excited for it. Finally, Bugsnax, Darby. We got to talk about Bugsnax. They confirmed it will be a PS5 launch title. As if there was a doubt.
Harnessing the power of the PlayStation 5.
And they also announced that voice cast. Which is a crazy voice cast.
Who does Matt Mercer play?
He's actually not in it.
Who does Nolan North play?
They're also not in it. To give you some names. Fred Tatasciore or whatever who plays Soldier 76 in Overwatch.
Nice.
Let's see. Yuri Lowenthal. Mac Middleman who plays Saitama in One Punch Man. Let's see. Cassandra Lee Morris who plays Morgana in Persona 5. And Robert Craig Smith, aka Sonic the Hedgehog. It's among others.
In like the movie, in like the film, or
no,
like the games. Okay. Nice.
Yep. So all-star voice cast. They had a fun little trailer thing with that. If people are interested, I haven't watched it as much myself as I would like.
I listened to the Kind of Funny impressions. It sounds like a fun game.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Game.
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't really watched it because there's now a good bit of footage out there. No. I saw people like mixing it with Pokemon Snap was thrown out there, which got my attention and all that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, this game got a lot of hype because of partly the song and everything and the weirdness of it. But I'm glad to see that it might be backing up with the actual game.
No, yeah, people are like, no, this is a real game, and it's more, not the shit on Octodad, but Octodad was just more of a simple premise. This seems to be more of like a meaty game that has actually been worked on for years and is going somewhere. They're like, the story is obviously goofy and everything, but like everyone said, like, yeah, I kind of want to know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it more, and I will I will keep an eye out for this game. It seems like the kind of goofy shit I could get into. Not expecting it to day one or anything, but
yeah.
Siri, what are you doing?
Go away, Siri.
I don't even know what I could have said to make it sound like Siri.
Siri has lots of opinions on Bugsnax.
Always talking about Bugsnax. Okay, it is time.
Is it that time?
Main topic.
Main topic.
Yeah, so we mentioned at the top of the show, we are Put the time codes.
Oh,
we are making our rivals.
He already done added our new characters on there. Look at Jeff.
Yep. We are making our rivals, deciding who on my side is going to be the rivals of the characters on Darby's side.
I'll just read off mine. You can read off yours, just so people know.
Yeah, it's also to make it clear. Yeah, I know I just kind of said it, but to make it absolutely clear, we're just doing one character from Darby's against one of mine to make it simple. So we're not just throwing the whole list together.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be something elaborate. It's just what speaks to us. What speaks to us is a good gaming rivalry between these. So my team is Mila Maxwell from Tales of Zillia, Sly Cooper from Sly Cooper, Baba from Baba Is You, Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2, Mercy from Overwatch, Jade from Mortal Kombat, Geralt from The Witcher, Makoto from Persona 5, Cloud Stray from Final Fantasy 7.
I started something.
Booker and Elizabeth. Sorry, Jeff. You can't blame that one. From it was inside his heart the whole time. From BioShock Infinite, Shantae from Shantae, and Madeline from Celeste. We should have had a Celeste poster somewhere or figure or something. But that's my team.
They have a plushie on Fangamer, I believe. And my characters, this is who we have from me. We have Mario.
What's he from?
He's from Diddy Kong Racing.
Yes.
Link from Link's Crossbow Training.
Yep, that's the one.
I'm not going to continue this. Sorry. Yuna from Final Fantasy X. Champion Challenger Singer Songwriter Lord from Pokemon Sword.
No
Pokemon
context.
Shield, sorry.
No context.
Yeah. I guess we could also mention, we'll mention the Pokemon later. Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Cole McGrath from Infamous. Raz from Psychonauts. Ellie from Last of Us. May from Night in the Woods.
Sorry, I hadn't been doing it.
Yep. Boy from Inside.
Inside Boy.
Astro from Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Another robot. Is a robot boy this time.
Yep. And Megaman.exe.
A glossy JPEG of Mega Man.
Yep.
I want it to be Megaman.jpg is to be. All right, Jeffrey. Does something jump out to you and grab you?
We kind of talked about the store, but I completely forgot all we said when we talked about it a while ago.
Let's start with something obvious.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we have to do this one, but it's a starting off point.
Yeah.
I think Cloud versus Link is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
It's two iconic Japanese gaming icons. You could also make a case for Geralt in this mix in somewhere. Geralt versus one of these. But I do think Cloud and Link is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Geralt
Link could be good.
It could, yeah, for sure. And I mean, Geralt and Link are more alike. Like they're both adventurers on horseback with swords and everything. And if you feel strongly about that, I'm fine with that too. But I think Cloud and Link are pretty good, angsty boys from JRPGs that people are very thirsty for. There's a lot. There's a lot of things. They're gaming icons. They're I don't know. I think I like that matchup.
Yeah. So do we go with? Because the context of when they came out and everything, Booker with Elizabeth against Ellie.
Because that 2013, it's hard to remember now because everyone just unequivocally thinks Last of Us, myself included. But in 2013, that was a pretty heated battle. People thought differently back then. I do like that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but this is a good thing. Our rivals, this is bringing history, into it too. This is celebrating these games and they actually have a history. Those two, I like that.
Yeah. And we have the option to change these at any time if we decide something.
100%.
One I just thought of. We definitely talked about it last time. Mila against Yuna. Magic users that summon things, spirits and stuff.
That is pretty good. And actually, they might actually be able to fight each other. I think most of these people, Mila or would just destroy probably.
Yeah. So you want to go with that one?
Yuna versus May. But, all right, that's both on your team. But yeah, I like that. I like Mila, that's a pretty good thing. Now, the big question that everyone wants to know, Jeff, is who is Baba's rival. That's what everyone. That's what we need.
So we're going straight to the Baba.
That's what we need to know. It doesn't have to be now. I'm just saying. That is the question. That's a
good question.
Something's drawing me to Baba versus Inside Boy or Baba versus Astro Boy. It's something about those.
It's got to be one of those. It
something
has to
about
be.
it is
What we can use to help decide this is if we could try to figure out a rival for Astro or Inside Boy. If we can find a good one for that, the other one can default to Baba.
Man, I kind of wish we could do Shantae versus Madeline, but we can't. We can't. It's against the rules. Sora and Mercy are both very goody two shoes, do greater good characters.
It's true. Or do we potentially do, because it's actually a fight that actually happened, Cloud Sora?
Yeah, that's probably it, isn't it? It's obvious, but that's probably the one. If this was an actual game coming out, it would be a bonkers ass game with Baba. but that would probably be the one. Yeah, that does strike.
And then we can have Link and Geralt.
To me. Oh yeah, I forgot we already had Cloud. Yeah, all right. So what do you think, Cloud Link or Cloud Sora? What are we thinking? I kind of already forgot that we had Cloud Link.
Yeah. Well, the way we look at it this way, if we do Cloud Sora, then we have Geralt Link.
Yeah. I think and Cloud Geralt doesn't do as much for me, and Sora Geralt doesn't do anything for me. So okay, I'm okay with that. So audible. We're going Sora Link and Geralt. So Sora Cloud and Geralt Link.
Okay. Let's see here.
Okay, I like it. So yeah, right now while Jeff thinks about the next one that we're targeting, we have Geralt versus Link, Booker and Elizabeth versus Ellie, Mila versus Yuna, and Cloud versus Sora. And also, who's gonna take on all them Pokemon? Arthur Morgan shooting all these Pokemon down. He's going game hunting.
If only Makoto had the power to do multiple personas.
Yeah. Very true. I'm kind of liking Raz Shantae.
Yeah. Sidekicking into Genie.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. Yeah,
all right.
Like that one. Okay, so on your side, we still have Mario, champion, challenger, singer, songwriter, lord.
Okay. How about this? Might be in bad taste. I don't know. May and Madeline, because of the kind of subjects the games deal with.
Oh no, are you gonna put her against Inside Boy?
Wait, what?
I thought you were gonna put her against Inside Boy.
I said Madeline and May.
Oh, Madeline and May. Okay, yeah. We're both sad girls.
Yeah, both sad girls.
Oh, I guess Madeline's kind of gender non-conforming.
Both part of the LGBT community.
Yeah. I like it. I like to think they start off fighting and then they end up just being like,
we say rival. It could be a friendly rival.
Yeah.
Not all of these need to be hostile.
It is true. That is very true. Very, very true.
But Booker and Ellie will be hostile. I can't think of any other way.
Oh yeah, so people are dying in that one. We're gonna be deaf.
I mean, because this is whatever the rivals wanted to be. They could be technically them playing checkers, but in their minds, it's a battle.
Mario Sly.
Yeah. That could be good.
Mario Shantae was also strong to me, but I do like Shantae Raz. But Sly Raz could also be good too.
See, I was trying to think. It's the unfortunate thing. We have all the outlaws and thieves on your team. So I got that thing. Oh, it's like Slime McCo. Oh, wait, no.
I have a thing, Jeff. I have a style. If I could put 007 on this thing, I guess I could. Put 007 in those using video games.
Yeah, there gotta be specifically a video game 007. Or I could bring Tom Brady.
I will allow it if you brought Tom Brady. Just because of how ridiculous it is.
While the Yuna Mila thing was also really good, there's also like Yuna and Mercy because of healers.
Yeah, Mercy is kind of a standout one that's like running out of good options, but
okay.
Go ahead.
Mercy and Astro, they just really want to help people.
Okay, yeah. They are. It's another of the goody two shoes thing, but it's just like happy balls of joy. I like it. Yeah, I like it. That's pretty good. So, still have Sly, Baba, Arthur, Jade, and Makoto and Madeline.
We got Madeline.
Okay, just Makoto. Yeah.
My side, we have Mario, Champions, Challenger, Singer, Songwriter, Lord, Cole, Inside Boy, and Mega Man.
Okay. Again, I still like Sly Mario because that's kind of like that's also me in your childhood. That was like our two favorite series. As a kid. Like I like that for us.
Okay, let's see.
I think Mario would probably kill him because I think Mario has like weird supernatural powers. I think Mario is more of a power. His power level is stronger than you would think. Yeah, he can sit on people and vaporize them into dust. I'm down for other options, but I still do something about me likes Arthur Morgan hunting down a bunch of Pokemon. So having a bunch of Pokemon coming in.
Okay, yeah, we can just have the whole setting is literally him hunting.
Yeah,
like he just sees like, oh, those are nice animals,
and he starts getting chased down by. He's like,
but we gotta remember the Pokemon that he has. Is Rillaboom, Toxtricity.
Arthur Morgan's gonna die. Okay. He's gonna die.
He's gonna hunt a pile of rocks.
This is gonna be his end. This is gonna be the end of Arthur Morgan for sure. But I still kind of like it. We're scared of Baba, man.
Yeah,
we're scared. Yeah. So we still have Baba and Inside Boy, right? Like both of those are still up there. There's something kind of funny about that. I don't know a ton about Mega Man EXE, so you're gonna have to help me with that. Wait, Makoto's not picked. Alright. Makoto, Jade, and Baba. And then Cole, Inside Boy, and Mega Man. These are getting to be some weird matchups.
Depending how you look at it, Jay can be kind of seen as a villain, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. Anti-hero a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Cole, good or bad, could have a reason to fight her.
Yeah. I like that. And
could be bloodthirsty or,
two human fighters that might have a decent chance against each other.
Both use weapons.
Somewhat equal power level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can get behind it. I don't think these are the strongest, but I mean, I'm kind of going with the two we have left: Baba, Inside Boy, which I guess would just leave Makoto, Mega Man. Mega Man could be a persona. I don't know.
Man, I should have potentially went with my... Spoiler alert, is the character I have on my potential list.
No. You might come.
Okay.
You might still come. Don't
Okay.
spoil it. Don't spoil it.
That's gonna be a funny thing. But okay.
Unless we make a change, but all right. So let me just read off what we have. We have Geralt versus Link, Booker and Elizabeth versus Ellie, Mila versus Yuna, Cloud versus Sora. A lot of these are very strong. Shantae versus Raz, Madeline versus May, Mercy versus Astro, Sly versus Mario, Arthur versus Champion Challenger Singer Songwriter Lord, Jade versus Cole. And remaining we have Baba and Makoto and the Inside Boy and Mega Man. I'm trying to look and see if like Baba would be Inside Boy and Baba are both kind of like silent, just emotionless creatures
Kind of
going
blobbish
through this.
characters in a way. I feel like that's too strong for us to...
I like Baba and Inside Boy. Unfortunately, Makoto and Mega Man, I have trouble thinking of anything that ties. But
well, Darby, we have trouble with this one. We're gonna have to come up with something for every time we.
I'm just waiting for like. There's gonna be one of these weeks we do it. The first person says something, and the next was just like, oh, okay. It's like, well. I can stick with it. Who do you think would win, Makoto versus Mega Man? Anything Mega Man would destroy her?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the persona that is pretty powerful, but I don't know what all Mega Man has.
Man, if we're going like the strongest potentially Mega Man could do in the context of his world, probably Mega Man. He has some pretty crazy transformations.
Okay, so we ended up there, those last two. I just said all the rest of them, so I won't say it again. But Baba and Inside Boy and Makoto versus Mega Man.exe.
Did we want to go through and try to come up with some quick reason backstories for their rivalries?
I mean, if you want, if things jump out, I mean, I thought just us justifying why we put them together was already kind of. I mean, I think the overwhelming strongest one that I am so proud of you for coming up with was the Booker versus Ellie. I'm like, oh yes, that's the 2013 Goatee thing. Encapsulated, and then Sly and Mario is like me and your childhood.
Yeah.
Geralt and Link is just like they are the most similar two characters of any of these, probably.
Yep. But Link doesn't fuck.
Link probably doesn't fuck. Geralt does.
Yeah, he definitely does.
He does enough for the both of them.
Actually, do any of my characters fuck?
And Mila, is also very strong. And so is Cloud and Sora. It's obvious, but it's very strong.
Yeah.
And something about me, I still do like Shantae Raz, but
it's kind of like generally more innocent, like child characters with these crazy powers.
Yeah, they're good. I like him. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with him. I think this is
the only one that's like definitely stretches Makoto Mega Man. Yeah,
that was the last one. It was
okay. Like, let's just come out with a quick thing for theirs, since theirs is the biggest stretch. Okay.
I'm all ears.
Well, it's also kind of hard because I mean, this is going to be the case no matter what for Mega Man. Is that he's literally a computer program. He's only in a computer.
Fortunately, Futaba was the hacker. It's not.
Yeah. Okay. I say for their thing, it is a misunderstanding. They're both trying to do pretty much the same thing, but they think they're enemies. It's that I think, Makoto's trying, for some reason, going solo into a palace. Mega Man's trying to stop. I'm blanking on the name. I can't.
Dr. Wily.
I'm blanking. I don't think Wily's in Battle Network. Someone.
Man.
Yeah. And it's actually that guy's palace. Somehow got stuck in there. And they think they're enemies. And then you're like, oh, wait, we're on the same side. Okay.
Does Mega Man ever drive a motorcycle?
I don't think so.
Sad. You couldn't have put Yugi in here. Yugi probably. Yugi wasn't.
didn't do
but
the
Yugi
motorcycle.
wasn't in the motorcycle anime, was he?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He crossed over in a movie where the guy from the motorcycle anime went in the past.
Okay. So motorcycle thing is still in the same universe, just in the future?
I believe so, yes.
Nice.
Because Kaiba was like, yo, dual discs aren't enough. Sending cars into space to teach aliens is not enough. We need to put these motherfuckers on motorcycles.
Oh, anime. Oh, anime.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime is bonkers.
Well, you guys, that was a lot of fun. We made some very interesting video game rivalries for our stupid game. Can't wait to see what ridiculous combinations come up when me and Jeff bring characters blindly.
Yeah, that'll be in a couple weeks.
Like
we tried to do it at the start of the month. It has not been working out since we've done this, but one day.
It'll probably continue to get messed up, but that's how stuff works. Once again, October 31st on Saturday, twitch.tv/nerds@largegaming. All-day Halloween stream with a bunch of friends. We're going to be playing Among Us, freaking maybe some Fall Guys, definitely Little Hope, maybe some PT, get all spooky, maybe some RE, I don't know. Jeff and Jacob will figure out if they're playing some Resident Evil. Jacob's going to bring a whole slew of horror games that we've never heard of. Probably some Smash, some Rivals of Ether with the meme characters. It's going to be
We'll also have Steve in Smash at the time.
And Luigi Mansion. And my Pokemon Ghost Gym Leader Run thing.
Yep.
Which I still need to put on the YouTube channel. But I'll work on it. Thank you guys for listening and watching. See ya next week.
Bye.
Bye.